Okay, so we're bringing up the live stream now in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Hi, Brian. You say hi. It's just work. Ooh, watch live now. Austin Astro, Terry Phillips Zoom meeting. So
Yay.
All right, so you guys see it on YouTube?
Yeah,
YouTube.
there it is.
Okay.
So Joyce, are you going to be monitoring the YouTube?
Well, monitoring, you mean by just the number of people or what?
Or just in case any questions come in on it?
All right.
Yeah, I thought Jamie was going to do that.
You guys.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pull a split screen. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do this. Nope. All right. Come on.
Okay, there is a lag between the Zoom and the YouTube. A little bit.
8 o'clock. I always get notifications from my son's school at 8 o'clock. Or actually, it's the app. It's like, how was a Paul's day?
Guess I could start putting the goodie into this. Okay.
There was somebody, Dawn, that was asking Alan about going out to Bad Wolf tonight. He said he saw that there was going to be people for the virtual star party. I said there are 2 people, so there may be somebody going out there.
Okay, so are you seeing it live on YouTube, Joyce?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why am I not getting it? Hold on. There we go. Okay. So
There was somebody.
Still want to know what day, date, and time is. Okay. Okay, so we still have all of that.
okay. Yeah, come here. Well, that's right. So I have the volume
Earbuds to the
active on this one, but not on
here.
And that's just so we can keep.
And find the plug.
(8:01 and 45 seconds). Okay. Within 15 seconds. All right. Okay, so we can go run a setup if we want to. But it's mechanically fairly well lined up, so we just try to plate some. Okay.
Is there? You say there's one on there, which is us.
There it is.
Now we've got 5.
Okay.
2 of which are us.
We'll go and make sure that those other encoders are off. Okay. Nothing visual yet. It's going to be another 10 minutes before we can see anything.
We apparently have 5 people on YouTube at this point.
Great. Okay.
Trying to get my chat screen open for it. Let's see. You know what I also might do? I might put it, elevate it up in the case just so it puts it a little bit higher up. It's always such a funky angle. Like at home, I have it sitting on on my desk, and then on top of I think a can of stain. Cool. There we go.
How long does the charge on that last?
It should last for most of the night, hopefully. We've got Rajesh online.
Yay.
Hey, Raj.
But we said 8, but we might wait a few minutes to see if we can get a few more people.
Okay.
Oh,
I'd say probably about, I wouldn't say more than like 10 minutes if we want to do a walk around tour
Okay.
of the ranch.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up Zoom on my phone now, so I have that dialed in.
You prefer, you've got Stellarium, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and open. because
Don, I said to Terry that I think it'd be good if somebody would look at Mars. I know it's not anything to look at, but just because that's the
Totally
only
look at Mars.
planet that's out there. Yeah.
And well, and we'll see. I've got a couple. We can throw a planetary filter on it and see if there's any change. It depends on how tight of a view we can get. But I have my big girl
Okay.
all set up, so hopefully we'll get some better.
Yeah, we don't have enough focal length to show anything much more than a star here, unless we throw it in the Dob, and we haven't tested the Dob out yet, so we don't know if we can reach focus in it or not.
Okay. Well, Dawn said she could. So too bad we don't have other more interesting planets, but we'll show what we got.
All right, we've got Sarah and Brian Curry on as well. Joyce, can you send Rajesh the Zoom link? He was requesting it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's see if I can. Okay, it's Rajesh Garga, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, might help to take that off.
have you taken your dark contrast yet?
Not yet. Well, the telescopes just keeps getting longer and longer.
Bright light.
What are you checking for?
Charging up the glows.
Oh yeah, your glow tape.
oh, that sounded fun.
Somebody needs an oil can.
Sorry.
You could say that again.
And again, and again.
I forgot to mute my phone when I dialed in.
That's okay.
Do both of your incarnations need to be co-hosts?
Probably just the one in the goggles.
Okay.
Actually, are you able to make both?
I probably can, yeah.
Okay, if you can, that'd be great, because that way I can pull up Globe at Night on the tab or on the laptop as well.
No, it looks like I can't make both of you. The Bad Wolf, if I try to do it, it says withdraw co-host permissions. So
Okay, then
it's
leave
seeing
the
you
other
as-
one. Leave the other one, because that is the one that's going to be attached to the The
Scope.
scope.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. You can fool us with two personalities, but not Zoom. He says. Hey, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Howdy. Cameras are cooling down.
I am
Hey.
too. Gonna have to put the hoodie on in a minute.
Yeah, we had some dry air today, so it's stayed cooler and it's going to feel cooler pretty quickly.
Yes.
Oh, Brian and I spent about a couple hours with Dana and Darren this afternoon at their place in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They got a nice setup out there.
Is that who last
Oh,
night?
you told them I said hi.
Yes.
Last night, Darren was sending chats to everybody, but it said something about, yeah, this is where we live and we'll be glad to see you. And I had a feeling it was only supposed to be going to somebody, apparently you, Terry.
Actually, they are eager for anybody who wants to come out and observe from their place.
Yeah.
They're making it very user friendly. They've set up a little cabin and a laundry and a bathhouse.
Well, I kind of
They're in
figured
town
that,
until the
but
29th. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think they'll be taking off
All
after
right.
29th.
There's still more time in April. I'm okay with that.
I figured that they would be welcome to anybody, but the way it was written, it was like that. They thought they were having he thought.
Yeah.
I messaged him afterwards. I said, just a heads up. Now everyone has your address. And he's like, I know, we're still learning Zoom.
I didn't even recognize Darren at first when he was
That
on
is quite the beard he's got going on.
white beard and all that. I was like, who's this? And that, we identified him. So. Okay, well, it's 8:11. Shall we go ahead and get started?
Sure.
Okay. To everybody who has joined us, my name is Joyce Lynch, and I'm the outreach chair for the Austin Astronomical Society. And just in case anybody is not real familiar with AAS, I'll just tell you that we are a group of amateur astronomers. People ask us if we do this for a living, and no, we don't. This is not the way we make our money. Many actual professional astronomers don't ever look through telescopes, but that's what we like to do. And we like to share our telescopes with the public, which is why we normally have in-person star parties. That hasn't happened, obviously, for the last year, but we're hoping to get back to that soon. We do regular star parties at Pedernales Falls State Park and at Inks Lake State Park. We go out when schools or libraries request us to come out and do star parties. So in any way that we can share astronomy with the public, that's our thing. We also do have activities for our members. We have some of us are at Bad Wolf Ranch tonight, and that's where we have a observing area for our members to go out to, a dark sky, very dark sky, so they can do their own observing. So that's a little bit about AAS. We're doing this event tonight because it's International Dark Sky Week, and I am going to go to the International Dark Sky Association website and show you a little bit on that. The International Dark Sky Association, as it says, works to protect the night skies for present and future generations. Concerned about light pollution, obviously. But light pollution, and you can see the programs that they have: conservation, dark sky friendly lighting. And I like to say that astronomers, it's not that we're against light that's misused and situations where there is more light than there really needs to be. And if the light's going up in the sky rather than going down and lighting the ground where people are needing to see to walk and so forth, that's our objection, not just light in itself, misused light. And it's light pollution affects us all, as this shows. Wildlife, turtles, birds.
We're not seeing your share.
You're not seeing my share? Okay. Sorry, I just found out you're not seeing my share. Let me go back and, yeah, I have to hit share screen. I'm not used to this, so. Okay, now back to the IDA website, which you can now see, I hope. And light pollution affects us all: wildlife, our personal health, human health, energy, heritage, safety. These are all the things that the International Dark Sky Association is interested in. So you can see from this website there, the URL is www.darksky.org. So if you want to check out what the information that they have about dark skies, that's the place to go and find out more about it. Okay, so let's see. I need to go back and not share anymore. Figure out how to do that. Can I just do this? Okay. Am I lost?
Top center.
What?
Top center of the screen.
I'm screen share. Okay. Sorry, just still kind of getting these things worked out. Tonight we did decide to try a virtual star party because we're not doing them in person, and we have, as I said, we have people at 2 different places. We have some at StellarSkies, and I'll let Terry talk a little bit about StellarSkies, and then we have a couple of people at Bad Wolf Ranch, which is our dark sky site for our members to use for their observing. So Terry, why don't you talk a little bit about who's at StellarSkies, and if you want to talk a little bit about your equipment also.
Okay, well, tonight we have Brian joining me in Observatory 7. And over in, Daniel, what's your observatory?
14.
Number 14, across the field. Daniel is set up with 3 telescopes ready to go. We have, I'm not sure how clear a picture you can see of it right now, but that is the Teleview 101 that used to live in the Fred shed. And it has been kind of in bad shape, and Brian helped me get it collimated this weekend, or this week. We've spent the whole time kind of refurbing the scope and attaching a new ASI camera to it. And last night we had a practice session, worked on the Galaxies M81 and M82 and Markarian's chain, and we're able to get some pretty nice captures in about 5 or 10 minutes. So tonight we're planning to look, primarily we're going to focus on the Rosetta Nebula and maybe Thor's helmet, which is in the same neighborhood, and then maybe a couple of open star clusters. I particularly want to look at M46 with the planetary nebula that floats in front of it and see how that shows up. And Daniel, you want to tell us what some of your targets are?
Sure. You know, I'm going to share my screen for a second here, just so everyone can see what I'm shooting things through. Let me share here. Let me go to the camera that has the. So here's my my 3 scopes. You know, 2 RCs and a refractor. And this is galaxy season, so I'll be shooting galaxies on all 3 of them. M81, M82 on the refractor, and then on the East RC, the far one there that you see, I'll be initially on the antennae galaxies, you know, the 2 there, and then I'll be on the Whale galaxy on the closest one. So, and I'll be switching to other galaxies too throughout the night. So we plan to do at least 5, you know, different ones. So it should be a nice group of targets. So.
Okay, that's pretty much what we got from StellarSkies. We have a beautiful night tonight. It is, the winds have stopped, not a cloud in the sky. I don't know how good the seeing is, but it looks like a potential for being pretty good. So we're just getting ready for some darkness here to start working.
Okay, thank you. Dawn, are you there?
Yes, yes, we're here.
Don Davies and Jamie Canfield are at Bad Wolf Ranch, and Don wants to show you around Bad Wolf a little bit and also talk about the globe at night.
Sure, give me just a moment. I'll switch cameras.
So you're comfortable sitting over here. Move this back again. Okay, cool.
Try and blow her up and she gets back. So Dawn exited stage right. Is she going to reappear at stage left?
Yeah, I think my
She's
I think my
coming.
phone logged me off. So let me log back in
All
Okay.
to the
right.
call. Right. What? Let me in. Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's see if I can flip my screen around on here. Actually, I'm going to share screen. Oh, got to make me host again, Terry. Sorry about that.
Okay, hang on. Let me find my participants dialogue here. So the one on the camera, not the bad wolf, but okay, here we go.
Yeah, the other one.
All right, you are now a co-host again.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. So here we go. Can everyone see that?
You need to rotate 90 degrees.
Oh, I do. Okay. There.
That's better.
That's better? Okay. Now I know how to hold this camera. All right. So as Terry mentioned, I'm out here with Jimmy Canfield at Bad Wolf Ranch, which is a large plot of land, as you can see, just north of Lampasas, that is owned by one of our members and has graciously allowed us to use this property out here for our observing. And we've had a fair number of star parties out here pre-COVID. And it's a lovely space. Our members have done an amazing job with coming in here and keeping the area clear of cactus and opening up our field for us. You can see out here we have a small dome observatory, which I believe holds our C11. Is that correct?
It's actually a LX200 12-inch.
There you go, LX200. And right here, Jamie and I have got our telescope set up for the night. We've got pretty phenomenal horizon views. We just had our sunset about 15 minutes ago here to the west, circling around to the north here.
Contrail?
And then out this direction is where we get a little bit of a light dome from Fort Hood and Killeen, but not too much. We do get a little bit of a light dome here in this direction too, towards Lampasas. And later on, we'll actually do a sky meter reading. I brought my SQL out. So we'll get a sense of what the current Bortle scale is out here. So that's the current level of darkness versus light pollution from artificial light. And hopefully we will get low enough horizons that we'll get a good view of Starlink this evening. So this field is open to members of our club for use, as long as they notify our member services chair or executive committee. As a member, you have this space to utilize for your own personal observing and for imaging. And it's nice and quiet. The cows have calmed down, and clear skies this evening all the way up to zenith. Not a haze on the horizon. All right, let's see if I can turn this on back over to you, Terry.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, thanks. And I'll actually just pass it back to Joyce right now. You're muted, Joyce.
Okay.
And Don, you're going to talk about globe at night.
Okay, I'm gonna have to switch gears, so give me a moment.
Okay.
Um, hmm. All right. Trying to make sure we don't get any feedback on these. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to log off of Zoom and that way Terry doesn't have any trouble making me host. All right. Bear with me one moment.
Okay. Oops. Looks like
Okay, is my other entity.
it looks like you're still co-host, Dawn.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen here. It's not picking up on my, oh, here we go. Okay. So here we go. So I wanted to introduce you guys to a program called Globe at Night. And for those of you that may not be familiar with the term, it is a citizen science project. So citizen science is an opportunity for individuals, for non-professional scientists, so ordinary folks like you and me, to be able to participate in scientific research. And Globe at Night is a program that's been going on for quite some time. And what this allows folks to do is to observe specific stars and constellations that are assigned by month. It's usually one constellation each month. And you fill out a report on the site based on what you see. So for instance, tonight, we are going to be looking at Leo. Leo is the highlighted constellation during this time frame, and it shows you where it is in the sky. And you're going to look up and see, based on where you're located, whether it's in urban city skies, suburban skies, or maybe some nice rural skies like we're in right now. And you're going to report back to them. And what you're going to provide to them is where you're located and what the sky viewing was like. And they've got this awesome chart down here. So you don't have to count the stars per se, but you want to give them ideas. Was it, a very star-filled sky? Were there only few stars? Did you maybe only see maybe two of the bright ones? And you want to report to them what the sky conditions were like. Was it clear where you were? Was maybe half or a quarter of the sky clouded or more than the sky? And then any conditions you want to add in here, any notes. If you happen to have a sky quality meter like we do tonight, you would submit your numbers and your reading here and submit the data. And this is a project that's being done globally. So this gives scientists a great opportunity to take a look at what sky cover is like in specific areas all over the world. And this sort of helps map in real-time data how possibly bad the light pollution is or how darkened some skies have become over time. It's free to sign up, it's free to submit, and now is a great opportunity highlighting International Dark Sky Week to go on Globe at Night. It's globeatnight.org and submit your observations. So later on in the evening when it gets dark enough, we can take a look at Leo and we'll go ahead and submit a report online and help feed the citizen science masses.
Thank you, Don.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, do you want to kind of go to talk about Stellarium a little bit while we're still waiting for things to get dark enough to see?
Yeah, we can talk about it. So we're going to use Stellarium, or we may use it on and off tonight just to kind of get a preview of where in the sky we're going after these objects. And I'll go ahead and share Stellarium at this point. Okay, I've kind of got a busy screen kind of overlaying it here, so I'm going to kind of rearrange a few things.
Yeah, I think James.
Okay. So you guys can see my screen, right? Okay. So we're kind of focused over on the western side of the horizon here, the sun setting, and we've still got some some yellow twilight twinges here that we're waiting to go away. So some of the first targets we're going to be looking at will be in the west because they won't stay up very much longer. And in particular, what we're going to do now, we have to take our scope out of park. I don't know if we're going to need to do an alignment, but we're going to attempt to just go to Betelgeuse first and see if the camera sees it. And if not, we may have to pass the first round while we do some setup. But with fingers crossed, we'll land on Betelgeuse close enough to work with. And after that, we're going to hop over to the Rosetta Nebula, which is a very large nebula encompassing a really nice star cluster in the center of it. It's located in Monoceros up here. So we do a little, there's your unicorn for Monoceros, okay? And this little red rectangle is the field of view of our particular camera on our particular telescope. So we're going to move over there to find the Rosetta Nebula. If we zoom in, I think it's dark enough. Yeah, you can see that little area right there. And actually, our camera, the way it's oriented right now, should frame that just about perfectly. It's a pretty wide object, so you have to have a pretty wide field of view. Now, our telescope is small focal length but wide field of view, so we'll be able to snag most of this nebula here. And what we're going to do is run a program called SharpCap, which will be collecting the frames coming off the camera at some number of frames per second, and it will be stacking those as we go, dynamic stacking. So we're going to make each exposure about 4 or maybe 8 seconds long, and so after every exposure, it's integrated into the stack, and you get basically more data to add to the picture, and also you'll filter out noise as you go. So as we remain on target, as the minutes go by, the picture should enhance. We'll use a few tools to try and help that enhancement out. But we're hoping, we have a color camera here. This is a large H alpha region, so it glows nicely in red. And we'll see if we'll be able to pick up the red color in the nebula as well. It's a nice star cluster. So it's really nice to look at as well. So that'll be our first target. And we can look at some of the other targets here in a minute, maybe as we go along. For our second target, let's see, we have the Seagull Nebula over here at the top of, I believe this is it, at the top of Canis Major. And notice our camera is not really oriented to capture that. So what we'll have to do is rotate the camera to line it up. So it looks a little bit like a seagull. There's the bird's head and wings on both sides here and tail. Again, it's also a very large nebula. It's not as bright as the Rosette. So if it doesn't show up very much, we might move to a smaller nebula next door called Thor's Helmet, which is, it has higher surface brightness, and we may bend some of our pixels there. But anyway, this should come up and give that distinctive shape of a winged helmet. It's called Thor's Helmet. And if we do work on that target, the central star in that nebula is an interesting one to talk about. We may do that. Okay, so it's not going to fill up our camera field of view. It's smaller, but hopefully it's a brighter surface area. And then right next door to that, we have 2 fantastic star clusters that should fit in the field of view. So on the right side, we have M47, which is a loose cluster. It doesn't have a whole lot of stars, but they're very bright stars. So if we kind of pick one here, I move that window out of the way, I can see that this is, these are still, 5th and 6th magnitude stars and 7th magnitude stars. But if we compare that to the cluster M40, this is M47. If we look at M46, is this little cluster right here, and it's made up of 10th magnitude stars, but there are a whole lot more of them. And it has a nice little piece of dessert floating on top. It's this cherry right here is a little planetary nebula that's in front of the cluster. And if our camera resolution is good enough, once we capture that, we should be able to zoom in on this and detect the planetary nebula. And if we're lucky, it should be glowing in a green color like this. So that's probably as much as we can do tonight. If we have more time, we might look at something over in the east and in the Virgo galaxy cluster, but that's what we're planning to do. So it's just about getting dark enough for us to work our way over there. I don't know if you want to listen to us stumble around while we're doing that, or if somebody else wants to talk for a while we work on that.
Don, do you have anything that you can show yet?
Okay, so control find.
I'll just say,
I was just in the process of looking up our data for our Starlink pass.
Mhm.
Do you have the time for that, or?
Right about 9 o'clock. I was looking at it earlier.
Okay.
Oh, again tonight.
All right. Excellent. I was just going into my heavens above. We actually, Jamie just found Mars, so we're going to try to see if we can get a handle on that. So if you want to vamp for a few moments, I know there was a question in our Zoom. Let's see here. Sarah Marie was asking about where StellarSkies was. I told her it was near Mason, Texas, but maybe Terry or Daniel might want to give a plug for StellarSkies or talk a little bit about it.
Sure. It's a dark sky site between Llano and the town of Brady, almost right in between them on off of Highway 71 near the town of Pontotoc in Texas. And it's up on a hill about 1,800 elevation and pretty dark, very dark. Brian, which he's with us here with Terry and his observatory, measured it a little bit ago, a few months ago, and it was around 3.2. So it's pretty decent. And we have about 20, I think it's 24 observatories or 22 observatories, and over 30 members and people from all over the U.S. and many are remote, but some are visual as well. You know, from our AAS.
Doing a Zoom meeting right now.
Others, so it's a good mix of different types of amateur astronomers and different areas too. So some are, you know, they do astrophotography, but others do stellar research, you know, spectroscopy and other exoplanet research and such. And so we even have a few members that work with the, you know, American Association of Variable Star Observers, and so we have a great mix of different amateur astronomers, and it's great. Many from the AAS too, of course. So
Okay, here we are.
Going back for a minute to Stellarium, I'll just explain that if anybody is not familiar with it, it is a program, a free program that you can get. The website is stellarium.org, and you can go there and download it, and it will show you any location on Earth, way into the past, way into the future, what you are seeing on any particular day. It has, and if you find an object and you zoom in on it, many of them will have pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope. So it's not just a drawing, but it will show you what it looked like to the Hubble Space Telescope, which isn't necessarily what it's going to look like to someone who's looking at it through a telescope. But it is interesting to see what the Hubble, the representation of it from Hubble.
You got your controls up?
If anybody doesn't know about Hubble,
Right.
it is a space telescope that has been orbiting. It's around, I think, 325, 350 miles above the surface of the Earth. It's been up there for over 30 years, still has maybe at least 5 more years of useful life. It's great, comes up with great pictures that are used not only for just
Okay, it moved up.
seeing them, but also in research. It will, to some extent, be replaced by the James Webb Telescope that's supposed to go up on Halloween of this year. For a while, they'll both be up there and they'll be working together. But whereas the Hubble does a lot of visual observing, James Webb will be doing in the infrared part of the spectrum, which will allow it to look farther back in time. Okay, I think we're waiting maybe for Dawn to see if she can get to Mars.
Again?
Did it gain up all the way?
No, I turned it down for Daniel's advice. I don't know if we necessarily need the gain to be.
I want to be able to see it. It should be renewing.
Right now, Mars is the only naked eye planet up in the evening. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 planets out of the 8 in the solar system, not counting Earth, so 7 not counting Earth, but 5 that can be seen without the use of telescopes or binoculars, and that's Mercury, Venus,
A little bit more.
Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. But the others, several of the others, I think Mercury and Venus right now are too close to the sun, so we're not able to see those. But the other ones
Rosetta Nebula.
are up in the morning hours.
According to Wikipedia, the Rosetta Nebula is an H2 region off the one end of the giant molecular cloud in the Messier region.
I'm probably not muted, am I?
Nope.
That was pretty good, T.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea where my mute button is. There it is. All right.
Okay, I don't know if we've lost Dawn or not. All I see is kind of a black screen. So there she is. There's Jamie. Yeah.
Hey, we're getting there.
Where's the mute?
Oh, you have to open up the actual Zoom screen.
Oh my God, and which one is that?
No, hold on, we'll find it.
I'm sorry.
It's
I guess I need to learn.
It's okay.
Those of you who are in the audience, this is kind of a big experiment for us.
We're working on it.
We're still working out the kinks, as are most people doing Zoom meetings. So
There we go. Hey, so we almost got Mars.
okay.
Dawn's just moving her nice big giant telescope. And it's getting nice and dark.
Yeah, we need to get a little bit dark.
It's still kind of light out.
Yeah.
Put a tag on that.
Oh,
Please.
sure.
Oh, there we go. Okay. There.
Yeah. Terry, you're still sharing, so Dawn, you may have to stop that so Dawn can share. Yeah. Okay.
And Jamie's playing with the green laser pointer. Woo!
Ooh, Jamie can explain why he's
We love our green laser pointers. It is a way to show people what we're looking at, other than just pointing with your finger, which doesn't work real well in the dark. And
They're amazing. Do you know what the range is on these things?
it's supposed to, technically, theoretically, it's infinite, but
Wow. Just to be able to point right at the star is pretty awesome.
you obviously we have to be very carefully with our green lasers when we see an airplane going over. No,
Oh,
anywhere near an airplane.
don't point at the airplanes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah. that can blind the pilot, and we don't want to do that and get us in jail. So
I have heard some news stories.
yeah.
Almost there.
Okay. You may have been reading Mars, of course, is a planet of great interest right now. We just had Perseverance, the Perseverance rover that that landed on Mars. And the interesting thing is, in addition to that, there's a little helicopter called Ingenuity that is going to be launching, I think, tomorrow to at least try out to make sure that it's going to be able to fly on Mars, and then it'll be able to do some reconnaissance out from Perseverance and get some additional views of Mars.
Is Mars over by Boötes? Is it? It's above Orion.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure I'm pointing at the right thing.
Right. Now you have to be careful because in that same area, not too far from that, is Aldebaran, which is another sort of red looking object. But Mars, I believe, I looked the other day, is the one that's closer to Orion.
Nice. Yeah, and competing with that is Betelgeuse, which is nice and
Yeah,
bright and red.
that's a little bit more obvious because it's in the constellation. But
Oh, here we go. Okay. Let me pull up Zoom.
Okay, she's pulling up Zoom now. She has the planet, and she's pulling up Zoom on her phone.
okay.
Zoom on her.
Mars is not a real interesting planet to look through a telescope compared to, say, Saturn or Jupiter, but still, it's the only planet we got up there right now. So thought we'd show you what it looks like.
At the top of the screen.
Oh, okay. Admit. Okay, hang on. I got to click on something. There we go. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's a Mac. It's like alien technology.
Okay, Terry's gonna have to be a host again.
Yeah.
Mars is above Aldebaran.
Yeah.
Terry,
If you go from Orion's belt to Bellatrix and then go about 1.5 times that distance, Mars should be the right object you're seeing there.
very cool. And Dawn needs to be made a host again. Yeah, I actually hadn't looked at a map or anything. I was just pretty sure that was Mars, but suddenly I started to get nervous.
Is Terry there?
Hey, Terry.
Yeah, I just made Dawn a co-host again.
Wrong one.
The wrong Dawn.
Okay, so say no, go back to this one, more, and that says withdraw. Okay, so I guess I have to withdraw it from one and give it to the other. So you want this on the Bad Wolf one, right?
No, on the other one.
The other one.
Okay, then, all right, make co-host. Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Yes. Oh, is that you on the?
That should be me up there on the screen.
Cool.
It's actually my phone. Actually, if you can mute the laptop?
Oh.
Unmute the,
Okay. And you left.
Hey, Domingo, what's up? Okay, are you on the YouTube or the Zoom?
It's on Zoom, but
Okay.
it launched your feed.
let me go into the Zoom
Yeah.
here again and participants. Okay,
Irony
I don't
would be-
see you in the Zoom meeting, Domingo.
So that everybody else has options.
Yeah, it just shows your.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you. It's you're not in the waiting room. You're not on the participants list. Did you exit the YouTube?
I'm sorry.
Welcome to live what? It sounds like you're still in a YouTube if all you've got is a chat. You gotta kill your YouTube, kill your browser, and you have the Zoom app, right? Okay, but you do have the meeting, right? Let me see if I can do an invite from here. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Let me see, Domingo. Yeah, I'm trying to do an invite to you right now. It doesn't have you in my contact list. All right, let's see. Can you give me your email again?
Yeah, Sonic Wave Roshin. One single word. Sonic, like the chemical place. The word wave, like, like
Yep.
Sonic Wave. And then last name Roshin, Rochin, all together, at outlook.com.
ROCHIN at outlook.com.
Outlook.com, yeah.
If it's easier, Terry, I can send it to him.
I'm trying to go to my email right now.
Yeah, I'm just
I'm having problem with connectivity here in the field.
Yeah, I've just about got it, Joyce.
Okay.
Looks like we almost got it here, guys.
Now, Jamie.
Yes.
It's 8:51, so
don't have any email from
Yeah, I haven't sent it yet. I'm trying to get the.
if you think we can see the star links.
I'm looking at Orion. I did get the Skyris camera to work. However, the magnification is much greater than what I would want it to be.
I think.
And I don't know how to zoom out of it.
Hey, Terry, can you?
Yep. Sorry.
What did you say, Joyce? Then.
I was saying that it's about 8 minutes till the star links.
Okay, for some reason it's not letting me send that to you. So I'm going to ask Joyce to go ahead and see if she can get it to you.
Wanting to look at it through your phone, Starling?
Yeah, I'm going to
try. All right. Joyce, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, if you could go ahead and send Domingo the invite. He's actually got an image he wants to share with us.
Okay, it's done.
Thanks, Joyce. Okay. All right, so
he needs to let me back in again.
I got in a bad mood here. I'm going to kill
Here we go.
and we'll come back.
Dawn has Mars. I just readmitted her.
Okay.
And then you need to be made host again. Okay, and then she needs to be made host so she can share.
Okay, making her co-host. Okay, Dawn, your co-host.
Okay.
There we go. And I mute it. Oh, and there it is. It's red.
streaming, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There you go. There's Mars.
Nice.
You can do a little zoom out.
Are you muted?
Nice dark background now.
Okay, now.
There's a clump of stars and they're still in the same position. That's good.
All right, so we're taking 8-second subs.
We're not seeing any little green men, but we're seeing Mars.
Live from the surface of Mars.
All right, where is the? Put this down. Okay. All right, I see the phone camera screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would that be it? Oh.
Okay. It just drifted a little. Now we're
Can you all hear
refocusing.
me from there?
Okay.
Can you all hear me from there?
Yes.
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 Oh,
You sound
just-
good.
what's that?
You sound good.
Oh, good. Okay, so just to share what we're doing right now. So this is, I'm using a 152 millimeter refractor. So it's roughly a 6-inch refractor scope. And I have on here what's called a Celestron XYZ. So it is a mount that attaches to my telescope that allows me to then put my cell phone on an object. And there's a little finagling involved to getting it lined up quite right. It's called an XYZ because it operates on the X, Y, and Z axis, which makes it a lot more user friendly. We're trying to get a right object in the sky.
Okay, so we've got 14 frames. We're just not getting Nebula yet.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Damn
Damn decent focus though.
I don't have the live stack going.
Focus.
Terry, would you mute yourself, please?
Oh my gosh, I wish I had that on there. Satellite just went past it. Okay.
Can you still hear Dawn?
Kind of lost her a little bit.
Okay.
Now I can hear.
Okay, good. Just trying to get the right camera. So I'm also using an iPhone 11 Pro, which has 3 field view cameras. One's an ultra wide field, one's a wide field, and one is actually specifically designed for night viewing. So we're going to try to get focused on Mars again. Got to kind of fiddle with the distance that it sits away from your eyepiece too. So let's see if we can. How are we doing on time? So we want to make sure we get that Skylink.
You got about 3 minutes.
Okay. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the phone off of the camera so we can focus on Starlink for this period of time. And we've got a really nice dark sky. Let's see if we can pick up on any of this. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Let's see. It's a little staticky. Okay.
Oh, yep.
So we've got Orion.
There's
right
Orion.
there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're just looking up at Mars over here. And Joyce, can you give me the coordinates that we're going to be focusing on for Starlink?
Sure. Let me get it real quick.
So for those of you who may not be aware, so Starlink is a series of satellites that Elon Musk has been putting up into our sky. And they definitely make a train-like drift across the night sky. We caught it last night and it was quite brilliant.
Okay, I
So,
think I see you guys now. I can hear you guys. All right, thank you.
let's see.
Okay, and I got this for Bad Wolf. I set it up today. It's okay, starting at 20:59:28. It's 10 degrees up to 11 degrees going from the west-southwest to the southwest.
Okay, so it's going to be cutting it pretty kind of low on our horizon. You can see we've got the right there in the distance. At the bottom of the screen. Are we reading this okay? Is it come through?
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I see
Okay.
a couple of stars.
All right.
Mhm.
So
Can't hear you.
We're hoping we can see these. They're not very bright. They're not as bright as they were 2 nights ago. There will be additional Starlink launches, apparently lots of them. And so if this doesn't work tonight, then we'll watch for the next time that Elon launches a bunch of them.
okay, so these are launches that we're seeing. These aren't the actual satellites
Right.
across the sky. Okay. So I've pulled up the light read on this. So this is our west right here. So they're a little bit
Yeah.
microphone. So we're going to be looking in this sort of region here, the west to the south. So right in this little pocket of sky, right here below Orion.
And if we're going to see them, we should be starting to see them now.
Okay. Degrees is not very high, but hopefully. Southwest, right, Joyce? Southwest to
West, southwest to west, southwest to southwest. Yeah. They are a 5.4, so they're not very bright.
Sun too. No, I'm not.
What direction was this appearing in again?
It's going from the west southwest to the southwest.
West southwest to southwest. Okay.
Okay, so they're going to be going from there over that way.
Yeah.
What's their elevation?
How high up are they?
10 degrees.
Oh, it's down on the horizon. We'll be lucky to see that.
Yeah. And I think in terms of time, they probably have passed. Well, some of them are still 9:01, which is what it is now, toward the end of the train. I'm afraid they're just too dim and too low.
yeah, I think unfortunately it's just still in the haze of sunset.
Yeah.
I've got something I can pull up for the folks at home.
Okay.
Just a second.
Oh, kitty cat.
Yeah.
That's what they looked like the other night.
Last night. And I've got another video. Let's see how I don't know how that's showing up. That's showing up too well.
Yeah, we can see them.
Yep. So this was last night.
Nice. Yeah, I was surprised how they were lit up in varying amounts each one.
Yeah. Probably just their orientation, I guess, to the sun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was last night. So at least, showed you a little bit of Skylink. All right.
As I said, there will be more. Much
Yes, right.
dismay of some astronomers because they feel like, I mean, he's talking about what, 20,000 of these or something like that. And although they're making efforts to have them less reflective and do things to keep them from bothering astronomical observing, there's still a lot of controversy about it.
Okay, we're gonna try to get Mars back.
Carrie and Daniel, anytime that you're ready, I think you can probably jump in.
All right, almost there.
Okay.
Hey, I can share what I'm looking at there.
Yeah, Domingo's joined us now.
I can't, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm having trouble with my video camera, but maybe I can share the document. If I click the share, can I share?
Sure.
Let me see. Okay.
Terry,
Host disabled participant screen sharing. So I can't share because it's disabled.
okay, well, Terry needs to make you a host so you can share.
You got that, Terry? I don't think he got it.
Working on it, working on it.
Okay.
Okay. Participants, okay. Which one of you do I need to make?
There should be only one of me, right?
Okay, all right, yeah. All right. Try it now, Domingo.
Okay, let me see.
Domingos.
All right. And it says share, pick the screen and share. So what you're looking at is Orion Nebula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I increase the expose rate to maximum of 1, it gives me a little bit more of the nebula.
Nebulosity.
Ah, yeah.
We'll move over to that one.
Okay. Now I don't know how to zoom out of it. This is as small as I can get it. I mean, it just
How you do
I can probably adjust a little bit on the focusing, but see, because it's at 1 second, it only updates the frame every second, and so even if I try to focus, there's a lag time. So I focus as soon as I could. I usually focus with less exposure time, about right there, and I focus there, and then I increase the exposure time to be able to capture more.
Ready, maybe we'll show
And even if I increase the
how we focus.
Okay. That not
the
pressed.
frames per second to maximum, the maximum goes 95. That's for only if I'm going to video it and then process it. I was looking at the beehive, but I can only see some of the stars. From my location here at the backyard of my house, I can't see Andromeda and I can't see one. I tried to see M41, which is one of the planetary nebulas, and I was looking at it earlier. And it looked something like this, a little bit more fainter, a little bit more smaller, but I was able to get it. And
Hey, Domingo.
yeah,
Let us try putting our camera on that and see if it's more sensitive. It might show some nebulosity. We have not had any luck pulling in nebulosity yet on the Rosetta Nebula. Let me share your screen. I'll show you my screen. I'll show you what we have been able to do.
how do I get out of my screen? How do I get?
Stop sharing. You just stop sharing. Okay, so we
I'm
need.
trying to go to the Zoom.
Okay, now we got Terry.
Share.
Okay, so we're using an application called SharpCap here, and it is collecting frames. We're doing 8-second exposures, and get that. You can watch the exposures on the green progress bar here in the bottom, and so all of these are being added together. But we've been collecting so far. We've stacked 44 of those 8-second frames for 5 minutes, nearly 6 minutes of total exposure. And I'm not sure why we're not getting nebulosity. We know those are the right stars. I've tried increasing my gain to maximum, but I'm still not seeing anything there. There's a feature called auto stretch, which I wanted to use, but it's I have to get the pro version before I can do that. Now we can play with the histogram curve a little bit, and it's only really making it dark going that way. So if we bring it over to the bright side and get it really close. All right, we're starting to maybe get something there.
What nebula is this one?
The Rosetta.
Rosetta.
Is that M41?
No, it's NGC 2244.
Okay.
That is more than just background goodies there. So
yeah, I'm trying to move the black curve over a little bit.
Hey, Terry, where is that Rosetta Nebula?
It's just to the left of Betelgeuse.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
It's the unicorn's nostril.
The unicorn's nostril. That's a good way of looking at it. If you go to Stellarium and you turn the artwork on, you'll see the horse's nostril. So, I'll ask our resident expert here, Daniel, if you know of any tricks I could try and pull real quick on this. to enhance what we've got, other than just keep stacking 8-second exposures.
Yeah, you would keep stacking just like you're doing, and you're stretching that histogram. Like I don't know in SharpCap too well how to do that, but I think you were doing that. I saw.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the outlines of the nebula. I don't know if you guys can see it too well. I'd like to make the sky a little darker, but I think I've run out of that. Okay.
Yeah, just play with the histogram, and you should be able to stretch it and make that background a little darker, but also at the same time bring out the nebulosity.
So I don't know if you guys can see this, but we have green
Yeah.
fuzz around the center of the and if I can squeeze these any closer together. Okay,
Hey, what's the number of the nebula?
2244.
2244.
You're not going to see it visually, probably without a filter.
What kind of filter do I need?
High contrast.
Oh, I probably won't have that.
Beta primarily?
No, it's hydrogen alpha. Okay. So it looks like for a nebula like this, we're just going to have to, I think I can do this on the fly. I'm going to go with a couple of longer exposures and see if they'll integrate. So I'm going to change the exposure time from 8 seconds to 1 minute.
Yes. Yeah. Do that too. Yep.
Okay, does that just drop in on top of what we're already doing?
I think it will.
It should be smart enough to do that.
Oh, so it liked that.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you can see our progress bar here is creeping along. So it's going to take a full minute to get the next exposure. I think I'm starting to see some red in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what the hue looks like from here too, especially down at the bottom. Let me look over here. See, that seems to be where some of the intensity is. Here, no, stop. Some of the intensity here. Now, what's the orientation of the stars versus where I am here? I'll rotate that. There's a collection of 4 square stars, and they're right here, and then there's 2 on the other side at an angle.
I would say maybe like this.
Not like that.
Yeah.
So that area down here at the bottom isn't that intense on this, but it's coming in more intensely in the red on your exposure.
Now, is this an actual photograph, or is this a render, some kind of art render?
It's probably a photograph that they put in here, and they've arted it, but this is zoomed in on Sky Safari.
Okay, so we had one of our 1 minute exposures come up here.
Already
we'll do one more, and then we're going to go try, while it's still high enough, we're going to try the Orion Nebula and see if we can, if this camera will do a little better than Domingo's did on it. So the Orion Nebula is quite a bit brighter than this nebula, so hopefully we'll be able to capture that. But we'll look at one more here. And Daniel, do you have anything you're ready to show?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's let this one go. One more, about 20 more seconds.
Okay.
So just want to say Brian has really dialed this telescope in. The tracking is spot on. The collimation is spot on. It's making it a lot easier to get some good results here. Okay, so we would probably, to really get, that kind of red color in there, we'd probably have to keep doing this for 30 minutes, and we're not going to take that much time to it. So let me save it off. And then we will move on and let Daniel show us some stuff here. So I need to do save exactly as it's seen. Okay, and Daniel, I'll turn it over to you. Let me stop sharing here.
All right.
Okay, so just go ahead and let me clear it and move to.
So this is NGC 2683. So I don't know if everyone can see that. Let me zoom in a bit. So
is this the UFO galaxy?
Yes. Yep. We can play with the histogram a bit to see the details a little bit more, zoom in and out.
So how much exposure time do you have on this one, Dan?
So this is 2 minutes of luminance data. And so it's the luminance filter. I do LRGB and then sometimes HA, mix that in as well. And so right now, being galaxy season, I I really stick with LRGB, but if there's a lot of HA in the galaxy too, I'll do HA, but this is luminant, so don't need to go that much on this. So that's a 2-minute, and then it's now going to the antennae galaxy, and that's why it's doing a plate solve right now, because it only could shoot that, it's right at the meridian right now, and so I'm only shooting targets east of the meridian, and so now it's moving to the antennae galaxy, and I'll show you guys that when that comes up. And then let's go to the south one. Let me close this. Hold on a second. You guys can see M81 and M82. And so this is in the refractor, 127 millimeter refractor. And it's got a focal reducer in it. So it's about effectively 660 focal length. And so it can fit M81 and M82 and even a little faint fuzzy up here. Terry might know this better than me what this is, but so it's got 3 galaxies in one frame. And then on the west scope, we have NGC 2903. And so another spiral galaxy kind of face on, and it's got a lot of detail, only for 2-minute exposure. Yeah. So, and we'll be on these for a little bit, but like I said, antennae galaxies coming up next. There you can see the plate solve for it. It's just a 5-second exposure there, but once we get the 2-minute going, I'll share that, of course. And so yeah, we're collecting data. So I'll tell you guys when we have an antennae ready. So Terry, I'll go back to you. Does that sound good?
We're about to make our transfer over to the Orion Nebula, so it's,
Okay.
we're going to be busy for a while. Is anybody else ready to pick up?
We're ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Let me break this up again. Stop sharing. So here. Oops.
You want to try an exposure? We'll figure out where we are.
Yep. Okay, so
Do you have a small short step ladder?
yeah, I do.
Making this the small window.
It's a step. It's not a ladder. Really what I need is to go up about 8 inches.
Okay, you're working on something, Domingo?
Yeah, I took a minute and a half of that nebula trying to see if the stacking it will show something, but I'm having trouble operating the software. I'm not too familiar with, so I'm just gonna stop here. So I can see you guys, but what are we doing? I can see the galaxies right there.
Mhm.
And who is this sharing?
Daniel.
I'm sharing, but I'm trying to stop it. I'll stop it here in a second, so
Okay.
someone else can take over.
You are.
We appear to be right on it.
Let me see here.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow. You got that fast?
Yeah.
Gotta say, surface brightness. Okay.
Why it's in this mode?
Okay, can I go back to Orion now?
There it is. Yes, sir.
Okay, I've got to first I got to find my Zoom.
I know.
Doing this on just one screen on a laptop is very challenging. So let's see, Sharp Cap. Okay, so we just landed on Orion and took like a 4-second exposure.
Is that what we're doing right now?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to put it in the middle. 1.
So Brian's going to move things around here. We'll get it sort of centered, and then we'll start stacking again. So Daniel, it looks like I should turn the gain down on this. It's kind of blown out in the trapeze.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or the histogram, Terry. Try the histogram first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So we're going to go up here and start. Let's just leave it there, Brian. I wouldn't try to fiddle too much.
Okay.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go and turn on the live stack here. And right now we're taking these 2-second exposures. Okay, and I've got to resume. Okay. Maybe I need to clear first.
That seems to be a good place to start.
Okay, and we've got this histogram left over from earlier. Okay, and I can make it a little darker on the background, so we just have the nebula there. So I'm trying to see what makes the trapezium. So that just kind of washes it out if I go that way. What I'm going to try next is just to turn my gain down to about 300, and I'm going to clear and start over again. When you're just taking 2-second exposures, it doesn't take very long to get a bunch of them. So that's 2 seconds. Doesn't seem to be adding. Okay. Let's see. I'll turn live stacking off for a minute. Clear. All right, my gain may be so low now that it really does need to be higher. So I'll turn it up on the next couple. Yeah, okay. So it looks like I would have to play with this. All right, so we can see every 2 seconds a little bit more is coming in now.
Yeah.
So yeah, live image capture here.
A lot of intensity on that. Nice. Our focus is not bad. Look at how round the stars are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was done entirely with just putting a Batten-Off mask on.
What are those 3 stars right there in the center, right there? Yeah, what are those 3 stars right there?
Well, my scale is smaller than yours, Domingo.
Right.
So the trapezium is somewhere in the middle of this bright washed out area. I was trying to capture it without that washout, but I'm going to see if I can maybe mess around with the histogram here. And
Yeah, well, I wish I could zoom out of it too, because mine is just kind of set, and I tried a lot of different optical tricks to see if I could get it smaller, but I couldn't.
we have an
And I don't-
artifact going through there. You may have noticed we caught something zipping through.
Mhm. And Terry, if you move that middle one, yeah, that you're on right now, if you move that to the left more, yeah, that should brighten it up. If you keep going with it to the left. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And then see that left one, most one, T. Yeah, if you go to the right with that just a little bit, see how it makes it darker. So you
Yep.
can, and you go to the left, you can make it brighter if you need to. So
It's like I need to squish these guys together in most cases.
yeah.
Okay. So maybe one thing I could do is try stacking some 1 second exposures and start over again. But
Yes.
you can see what the process is here. We got a lot of variables to play with. One thing that's pleasing is we know the camera is very sensitive and that we can get some data to work with very quickly. So I think once we get some practice on this, we'll be able for bright nebula like this. So when the Milky Way comes up, nebula like the Swan Nebula, the Eagle Nebula, the Lagoon Nebula would be really easy to play with. It looks like the Rosette is much fainter nebula than these guys, so it takes a lot more exposure time to get that one out. Okay. So far we have captured 68, 69 2-second frames for a total of 2 minutes of exposure here.
Pretty good. It's definitely brightening the stars.
Yeah.
What's this? Where's that, the pillars?
No, well, it's got a little neck in it. So where would Running Man be? Would it be right up here?
Let me see, T. Yes. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it should show up, but it's probably kind of like Rosetta. It'll take a lot more exposure. So these stars are surrounded by a blue nebulosity with the shadow in the middle that looks like a running man. And these guys that go deep sky, they love to put these two together. So we would definitely have to play with the parameters on that. Also, I guess there are ways to drop specific frames here. I don't know, but this probably was a meteorite that went through. And so the software can probably be set up to reject those and get the artifacts out of there. Okay. Is somebody else up with something?
I got another target for us if you want it.
Okay, we're going to move on to another target. If you, it's been working pretty quickly, so y'all, we'll just stay live for that. Let me save this off exactly as I see it. And
After that next one, T, I'll show the antennae.
Okay, all right, Brian, go ahead. What are you aiming for?
I'm gonna move to Polaris when I get.
Alpha.
I'm gonna move to Polaris, and when I get there, I'll share with you guys. I was watching it the other day, and I could see the double star easily, and I want to show that. Let me move that to there.
Okay, go ahead, Domingo. Let me stop sharing for now. Rosetta Nebula NGC number
434. According to some information I found on
434. Rosetta Nebula. All right.
Domingo, do you need to be made host again?
Give me a second. I have muted myself so that the noise of the telescope would not bother you guys, because it makes a big. This telescope makes a big noise. Let me go see what my camera is looking at right now. Why did I not? Okay. Oh my God! They had disconnected my camera. Oh, what's doing this? Okay. Okay. Here, let me log out of this. I guess my there.
Okay.
I may just have to. I tell you, I need practice using this software. It well, that's why I want to get into this, because I really think I'm getting hooked into it.
This is only our second night with this software, so it definitely has a learning curve.
Well, something's wrong, because I keep seeing the same frame, even though I moved the telescope to something different, and it keeps showing the same thing, like it's locked on something.
Okay, we're on.
I'll get back with you when I figured it out. Is okay for that camera. I don't see nothing there.
Here it is, the flame. Here's the okay.
All right, I'll move that towards the center. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe 30. No.
Some of the nebula over there.
Yep. They go the right way. Let me clear. Okay, come up just a little. Man, look how the nebulosity is coming up already. It's nice and bright. Oh, I gotta clear it for some reason. Okay, we'll work with that.
It over just a tiny bit. 1, 2. See how that gets.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. Domingo, are you there still?
Yes.
Don, is there anything more you can show from Bad Wolf? Ah, there you are. There we are.
What's that? She's got.
Um,
What do we got here?
That looks like the Orion Nebula too.
That's what you can do.
The whole sword of Orion, actually.
Right. So that's what you can do with an iPhone. To her, I wonder how fast her exposures are on that.
Hey, Don, do you know what your exposure times are on those? There's oh,
Oh, that's good.
Nice zoom.
Yeah.
Look at that.
the little
iPhone.
3 guys. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing.
Is Don on mute?
I don't know.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, hold on. Come on.
You were showing us some pretty good Orion Nebula there.
So this is a live image.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's great.
Love
It is.
Let's see if I can clean that up a little for you. Let's go. Kind of found her sweet spot at about 1.2x. It's kind of where she likes to be. Let's see. You can come in a little bit more. No, that's kind of like where she likes to hang out. Although, here we go. We've got, okay, I've sharpened it up on the scope a bit. So probably how it appears focused to me through the eyepiece is not going to be as focused as it is for the camera. So get in here and clean this up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's much clearer. You guys still catching this?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
It tends to like to disconnect me from Zoom, so I wasn't quite sure. So yeah, let's take a little snapshot of that. So that's going to give me a 4-second exposure right now. And that's what that looked like. So again, could be cleaned up a little, but all in all, not too shabby.
That's great.
Mr. Flores here.
Yeah.
Mr. Flores is following with us. He's
Let's
just.
see if I can.
I don't blame him. This is great.
So if I've got it a little bit zoomed in, let me see if I can. No, that's kind of the limiting. That's about the limiting focus on the scope itself.
I did this,
Okay.
did this with
So-
my Pixel.
Yeah, like I said, right around that 1.2, so about 26 millimeter range is where she likes to be to capture this image. So, all right, I will stop my share.
Okay, Daniel, you want to go to those antenna?
Yeah,
got
it's in the middle of a focus, but I'll show the other ones that are being captured.
Yeah, we got a bun in the oven that's cooking, so we'll look at
Okay.
yours for a minute.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I
It's you
know.
guys over there.
Okay. Let me-
So you're doing an autofocus routine?
Yes, let me minimize this just a second here. Do you guys see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me zoom kind of got in the way here. There we go. So yes, so this is doing an autofocus, right now. This whole software, just so everyone knows, it's called Sequence Generator Pro, and it's written by or authored by two Austin Astronomical Society members, Ken Pendlebury and Jared Wellman. You know, they're here in the Austin area, both of them, and been using this for many years, this software, and it controls, again, my whole observatory and all my 3 scopes, and automates, you know, my targets that I want to go for and the exposures I want to take, and, you know, how much I want to collect each night on each target. And I couldn't ask for anything more. Very grateful to have 2 local wonderful software developers in our Austrian Astronomical Society that have authored this software. And so it does everything. So here's let me show you guys the Antennae Galaxy. And so right now, you know, the seeing is not great, but I want to show you like a comparison of tonight versus last night, where the seeing was pretty good. And so this is tonight. This is you can kind of make it out where the interacting galaxies are right there at the center. And then if you look at last night's, it looks a little clearer. You know, it's a little not so you know, enlarge the stars and such, but you know, you can't complain. It's still pretty good. So as you get more exposures here, you'll start to see the tails, you know, coming out from the interacting galaxies. Whoops. And it's just amazing, you know, the detail that only 2-minute exposure gives you, you know. And again, I'm shooting mono camera, so I do luminance and then red and then green and then blue, and I try to get a total, you know, of all the exposures around 15 hours, and then I'll use a software called PixInsight, and I'll stack the data and do what's called pre-processing and post-processing in PixInsight. And it's amazing what comes out of this data. It might not look super impressive right now just for 2-minute exposure, but once you start stacking it, and as Terry and Brian are showing with the power of stacking, you get a lot of data out of it. And so now that it's a little darker, let me see, this one's still auto-focusing. Let's look at NGC. Oops, let me close this for a second. Let's look at NGC 2903 again. You know, now that's a little darker, you get a little bit more detail. You know, let's zoom in here. Let's look at it here. So it's got a lot of modeling in it. You know, it's amazing galaxy. I love
Very
this
active galaxy with star forming regions, and I've seen pictures of it where it comes out with those active regions being very blue before. It's very striking when it's rendered that way.
Right. Yeah. So it's just amazing. All this little, you know, as Terry said, star forming regions, and you can see the little stars in there. It's a beautiful galaxy. I love it. So,
yeah, this is up in the top of the main of Leo, a little towards Leo's face. It's one of those galaxies they don't understand how Messier missed it.
Well, we're not missing it. That's what matters. No. So
okay.
All right.
If you're ready, Daniel, I'm ready to see if I burnt the toast or whatever.
Okay. Let me bring it up here just a second, and we'll stop sharing. Let me see here. All right. There you go, T.
That doesn't look like the right one, does it? I'm not sure what that is. Okay.
I didn't bump anything.
Hey guys, when you guys ready, I can show Polaris, okay?
Go ahead, Domingo, and I'll come back and look at mine in a minute.
Okay, let me see, share. And what I want to show in Polaris is that I can see this companion. You can see that?
He's splitting it? Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Splitting the double on that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Well done.
Nice.
That's as good as it gets on my camera. I'm pretty sure my camera is a cheap one. I got to get a better one, but that's as good as it gets. All right.
Got to start somewhere, Domingo.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
All right, let me stop sharing. If I can go back to the screen and stop sharing. I can't seem to do that. Not letting
Make
me.
sure everybody knows Polaris is the North Star, and it's the one star in the heavens that does not change places. Everything rotates around it because it's the star that's basically above the axis of
That's
the
the
Earth.
Flame Nebula.
Well,
All right.
well, if you guys can help me stop sharing because I can't seem to get back to the screen that I can stop sharing. It doesn't let me. I don't know if you can control it from over there, but it's not letting me here do anything. I mean, I can see you guys, but on the side screen, but it doesn't let me go back to the full screen. Mute, start video, resume, thing, find it. Nope, nope. And no, these are the other participants.
Domingo, when you see that window, come up with all of us in it. If you move your
Yeah.
mouse to the top of your screen, do you see the toolbar come down?
No. Oh
Okay.
yeah, down there,
There you
back
go.
here.
Yeah, and so the stop sharing is off of that toolbar on the top. It's like in the middle.
Quit Zoom.
Nope, it just says it should say stop sharing.
Nope, it doesn't let me.
Ah,
I'm stuck in here. Let me see. Okay, I get way at the top. I can see stop share. Let me see.
there you go. Yeah,
Okay,
you
great.
got it.
I'm
Yes,
sorry
yeah.
about that, guys.
That's okay.
We're all learning here. So
Yeah,
That's right.
well,
Don,
Okay,
were you going to show us Leo, the globe at night, from the globe at night?
where's the mute?
Yeah, I can get there in a minute. I was actually trying to see if I could get the Pleiades.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good too.
Oh,
I
yes,
suggested
yeah.
that. So
Okay,
Great.
stand by.
you had mentioned Leo, so I'm going to come back to that.
Here, look in the binder and see if it, sanity checked.
okay.
Ooh, that's a bright screen. There, I don't know where we are. We were just pointing a couple stars.
Hmm.
I forgot which couple was. You drifted off.
Yeah, I think we.
We're not where we should be. So let me hit it again. Go to, what was it I called it? IC 434.
Mhm.
Okay, cross checking.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go check a known.
Okay.
A known would be 31. Go back to 31.
Welcome. You've got mail.
$31 or 42.
42. Right. Okay, we appear to be back on a visible node.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to the horse head.
Okay, so if we're gonna go back to where we were. I don't know why it lost it. So you picked that up already?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if there's anything else bright like that, I'd sure like to get a globular. What kind of globulars do we have available this time?
M3 coming up on the east.
It's too far away. Anything brighter?
It's close to Arcturus, so
Where's Arcturus? Right off the end of this handle, there's Arcturus. So it's M3. Yeah, it's a little bit low right now. The only other one up to 79 under Orion, and he's going down. He's not very good to start with. Down there. No, it's just too early. We don't have anything in this region.
Let's go to 47, 46, but let's try HR again, HH, or IC 344 or whatever.
Right, coming right up. Keep exposing and don't get off of there. Maybe we can see what's drifting.
Yeah.
I see 344, 343.
I don't remember now.
Terry?
Yes.
I don't know what how this would look like on this with your camera, but I was wondering if the horse head would be enough to, or you would be enough.
Yeah,
to see
that
me.
was the bun we put in the oven, and it was looking really good. But when we got back to it after a while, I think it had drifted or something. So we're trying to go back to it.
Okay.
We got the Pleiades.
All right.
Okay, we're on to the horse head right now.
Okay. Awesome.
Let's try to get an exposure.
Soon I'll be going to the whale galaxy in a few minutes.
Okay.
White whale.
All right, it looks like the same area with that star, and the flame was down here, and you had to move it a little bit. But so why isn't it showing up? Let me try a long exposure.
How were you exposing it?
Tell us
The
about
thing.
the Pleiades, Don.
What's that?
Tell us about the Pleiades in case anybody doesn't know.
This is M45, known as the Pleiades, also known in some circles, particularly Japanese ones, as Subaru. That is actually what the name is symbolizing, even though on the symbol it's only showing 5 stars, and technically we classify the Pleiades as being 7 bright stars. But as you can tell, just from my my scope here, which honestly the Pleiades are much more brilliant through binoculars, you can see they're far more than just 7 bright stars. Have you already gone over a little bit of who Messier was and why he was so popular?
We have not, and I think that would be useful. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So you'll hear us mention a lot these M followed by a number. So in this case, M45 being the Pleiades. So Charles Messier was an astronomer and a scientist, 1600s, and he was a comet hunter. He wanted to hunt for comets, find comets, create a catalog of comets, but at the same time, he was creating a catalog of objects that were not comets for the sake of his fellow astronomical colleagues. So, hey, by the way, I've already spotted this one. It's not a comet. You may continue. Unfortunately, he has become known more for his 109 or 110, depending on which side of the fence you're on. These 110 objects, which have proven to be a phenomenal way for folks to learn the sky by searching out these 110 objects. They're a collection of globular clusters, open clusters, nebulae, planetary nebulae, galaxies of various type. So it's a very widespread and broad exposure to all the various types of objects that are viewable in the night sky. And as I mentioned, this one is rather bright. We're looking at it right now through an 18 millimeter eyepiece that gives us an 82-degree field of view, but just one eyepiece. So if you have an opportunity to go outside and observe this naked eye, what you're going to see is just a fuzzy haze. It looks like almost a little cloud in the sky at night, but through binoculars, because you're seeing it with 2 lenses, you get a much wider field of view, and it's absolutely brilliant. But even here, these stars are showing up.
Worker, you want to move it
on this camera because of just how bright they are.
Do an 8-second exposure.
Yeah.
Take a little.
Some people think it looks like a small dipper. It's not the Little Dipper. Sometimes it's called the wee dipper, but it does have a dipper shape. And several years ago, I had cataract surgery, and I said that I would consider it a success if I would no longer see the Pleiades as a smudge. And I no longer see the Pleiades as a smudge. I see it as a wee dipper. So
Awesome.
okay, and I guess Sherry and Daniel are working on different things, and we'll get back to them.
All right,
Okay.
I'll see if I can, I'm gonna pull my camera off of my telescope and see if standalone I can get a good shot of Leo.
Yeah,
So I'll talk about that in just a moment.
yeah, that doesn't really need to
Okay.
be magnified.
Okay, I'm ready to show something.
Okay.
All right.
Uh, okay, so this is the Horsehead and the Flame Nebula.
Horsehead, yeah.
And we were getting it almost immediately off of 4-second exposures, and now we're going to 8 seconds, and it doesn't seem to be improving very quickly. But we can try playing again with the histogram and see if we can make it look a little bit better. But let me darken it just a hair.
Oh yeah, you can see the Horsehead.
Just nice.
There
Which
it
one you
is.
said was this one,
Yes.
Terry?
This is the Horsehead.
Okay, on Orion.
Yeah, so you see the little chest piece right here. That's the Horsehead.
Yeah.
And this is the Flame Nebula next to it. And this is this Alnitak or one off of Alnitak?
No, that's you're right, T. And you're even getting a little bit of the reflection nebula there between the flame and the Horsehead.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, in
right
this
there,
area
yeah.
right there,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
That's great.
So far, we've got 19 frames stacked, 19 8-second exposures for a total of coming up on 3 minutes of exposure time. So definitely reddish. I wouldn't call it as red as you typically see these when they collect a lot of data, but
Still picking up some color hues.
yeah, but what really surprised me is you could tell the Horsehead was there after a single 4-second exposure.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay, I guess we'll let this one continue to stack if we want to move on to something else.
I'm almost ready to show the whale. Just doing the autofocus. It's almost there.
He's doing a galaxy.
Then we'll show the Leo triplet too very soon. A few minutes.
See that.
Speaking of Leo.
I brought a lot of them.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the Leo triplet.
Somebody's happy. Okay.
Before we go to Leo, Daniel's gonna. Yeah, if he's gonna do it, so let him do it first, absolutely. But I'm gonna pull it up on here and take a peek at it. You got another.
I would still like to see the open clusters 46 and 47 together.
Open clusters 46 and 47.
Yeah, just go to M46 or 47 is the brighter one, and then scooch it over.
46, 47.
Just holler when you're ready there, Daniel.
I will. Give you about 2 minutes.
M46. 47. M47.
That should be right about there.
Okay, yeah, we didn't have to travel far from the unicorn to catch this. I look at this stuff. 47. Horses looking better. Look how this shape is. Wow, that's gonna be a beautiful image to say. Just in its raw form. Thank you, Mark. This is awesome. Can't underestimate what temperature does when you're not moving around. 47. Updated data. So to the point where we can do the updated data. Okay, it is 45.5 degrees in Terry's observatory. No joke. Relative humidity is 64%.
Right, almost there. 50 seconds.
Okay. I just stopped my share, so you guys can pick it up whenever you're ready.
All right.
Currently showing about a total of 3.2. Excuse me. 2.5. That was with what I took over here. I'm gonna go outside of the observatory.
Okay. Alexa, set first light to 10%. Alexa, set first light to 2%.
All right, here's the whale.
All right.
Let me zoom in here.
The Whale Nebula.
You can see his little baby right here.
That is stunning. Wow.
And that's only 2 minutes exposure. And so,
Oh my gosh.
and again, we'll take a bunch of these and we'll stack these. I can't stack them live like Terry's doing, but I take them and put them through PixInsight, and it's amazing what comes out of this. Just for a bunch of 2-minute exposures. And now for the red and green and blue filters, when I get to those, I take 5-minute exposures. So those go a little longer, but for luminance, just 2 minute, and it's beautiful. I love this galaxy. I have a story to tell. I don't know how many of you know Jack Estes. He we used to go out together to X-Bar Ranch, and I first saw the Whale Nebula in his Dobsonian. Gosh, it was probably in 2010 or 2008, around there, and I'll never forget seeing it through the eyepiece. So even though this looks amazing and it's through a camera, seeing it through the eyepiece is just as wonderful. So I love it.
Daniel, in terms of shape, what is the Whale galaxy? I mean, I guess we're seeing it side on, so it's not obvious if it's,
yeah, T, I think it's elliptical, but what do you think, T?
It could be an edge-on spiral, but if it is, it's kind of asymmetric spiral.
Yes, yeah. And I'm going for the Leo triplet here next, and we got just about 90 seconds. So this is the last exposure of M81 and M82. Let me just dial down the histogram a bit on these. Let's see what, okay, and then we'll go zoom in on these. So there's M81. Lots of arm detail there. And then M82, he's kind of a little overexposed. Let me see if I can get that down a bit. Let's see. I can come over here. Dial this back a bit. Oh yeah, so it's not letting me, but let me see if I do this. Okay, well that's about as good as I can do. T, do you know this little faint fuzzy up here on the top left?
It
NGC something.
is named after a person, Harold or somebody. I never can keep it in my head, but
I'll find it out here.
these three galaxies are mutually gravitationally bound. So
yeah,
they're orbiting. They're about 11 million light years away. So they're outside of our local group by quite a bit, but they're still a very close group.
Well, we'll just stay here because in 10 seconds we'll see the Leo triplet here, the first exposure of it.
Most of the time you can get all three of them in a nice wide eyepiece too.
Yeah, yeah. There they are.
Oh,
so I got the autofocus window. Let me go out of there. Yeah. So got the hamburger, and then
hamburger.
the is this 66T, the little spiral over here? I forget.
Yeah, I believe so. It's more disturbed than the other one, 65.
Yeah. Well, after this is done, I'll come back and show it again after this first autofocus. So, and then east is still on the antennae. He's doing an autofocus right now.
Not yet.
And then at west on the whale.
Nope.
So, all right. Let me go back. I'll stop my share. And T, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Does anybody else have something? Because we're in the middle of slewing over, but we'll go ahead and do that so you can kind of watch our process here.
Yeah, Don was trying to get Leo, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that was our last horse head.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You're settled on something here. Let's see if I can confirm this open cluster.
All right, I'm going to go back to a 2-second exposure.
I do appear to be on an open cluster. Yes, sir. It should be very close to the middle.
Okay, yes, I would say you are. Let
Okay,
me
that's definitely a cluster.
do a
Lots of
cluster
stars.
pumping. Okay, let's do a clear.
Okay, adjustment.
Okay, so this appears to be 47. So 46 is either going to be off on this edge to the left or it's up here. I would say it's probably over this way. So let's move. We've been ending up in this lower left corner, right? So let's just take this group of stars and try and put them over here.
Got it. Moving now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll put it up. 1, 2. See where that leads us.
Okay, let me clear. You kind of went the other way.
I'll fix it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. That may be enough to move us to where we can see 46.
Not quite. So
Moving again.
you're going to have to get them pretty close to the other edge, I believe.
4, 5, 6. 2. And up. That should center it. Put it over by the right edge.
Oh, I got to clear. Okay. Okay.
Is it above or below? See that? I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know what our orientation is really, so we might even have to spiral around it, but take him and put him up in this area.
Roger that. 1, 2, 3. Tuck it in the corner as far as it can go.
Okay.
Per second exposure or 8?
These are 2-second exposures. So I just need to keep clearing. I'm got to remind me that. Okay, it went all the way up here. I still don't see it.
Don't have it, huh?
So
1, 2, bring it back down
Yeah.
so that it's in the corner. And there's a star over here to one side that I can't see in the orientation. There's a pair of stars off to a corner over here that we can use for an orientation as well. We'll have to move it to the other side to see them.
do you see the fuzziness of the clusters? There's 2 fuzzy spots.
Let me see. Let's see if we can use this to find our orientation. Hold on. Okay, so that's 47.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 46 is much, much denser.
Yes, but it's dimmer, much dimmer too.
Okay, so the orientation I see here is a row of 1, 2, 3 stars, and then there's one that's down here on the bottom. So in this group, you should have some that are kind of in a line and then a real bright one. I think we are 180 degrees from this view. It looks like we're almost upside down,
Okay.
if I'm seeing it correctly. So let me lower it back down so you can see it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So we're doing a kind of hunt and seek of one cluster around another cluster here. Kind of a primitive way to approach this. The best thing to do if you want to get 46 in there is just go ahead and do a plate solve on it.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got 47 in this area.
Yeah, let's see if we can establish what our orientation is. I've got 47 here. I don't know if I could edit that so that we don't have the letters in it, but can you pick anything out of that? It's real obvious.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Looking for something with the same set of proportions. There's 2 stars very close to one another here on this outlier, and there's kind of a median row that are in a row here and one bright one in the middle.
It's too close together here. I don't know if those are your outliers.
No, they're wrong orientation.
No, they're about the right brightness, but they don't go into a group function, do they?
My head turned around to the right
Yeah.
orientation. There's a pair of stars on this.
Tell you what, Brian, just have a go to 46, and it should end up in here.
Okay, let's try that.
So, Don, if you're ready to show Leo, you guys don't have to watch us.
Yes, Leo.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing, and you can.
Okay. So I've been trying to pull it up with my phone. Let me get to the start broadcast, and it's not been very accommodating. So Leo is right up here, and it's really dark. There's not enough light that my phone can kind of pick up on it. So I'm going to enlist the aid of an app that I use quite often. This is called Star Walk. And let's see if might take a little bit to catch up with. We're gonna put it in live mode.
Right pair of stars right there. You just
do what?
Close that out. So we are going up to Leo. So here's where it is. It's pretty much right at zenith, which is 90 degrees, so directly above our head. But this is the highlighted constellation for tonight, for this week, for globe at night. So you'll go out to your night sky, and actually you can use Ursa Major. You see it right here, the Big Dipper here. You can use that. The 2 bottom stars of the cup of the Dipper kind of point directly towards Leo. And you're going to look up and you're going to see what the sky is like, how many stars you can see. And as I mentioned and showed earlier, go to that globeatnight.org and go and create a record and post what kind of observing it's like, what kind of sky conditions you have. In fact, actually right now, let me do this. Let's see if I can. Let me stop sharing here. And let's see if I can go back over to my laptop and share from there.
Now, Don, there was art for Leo Minor, but Leo, it's not really called Leo Major, but the Leo was to the left of the artwork that said Leo Minor, right? You're muted. Yeah.
I don't know if she heard Joyce.
Yeah, Don, are you
Don, you're muted.
Muted.
Sorry about that.
No worries. No.
We help each other out.
That's right.
Well, I can never tell which device I've got connected and talking which device. And here I'm just saying like, da, 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 da.
It was so hard to see, Don, like your face. I was like, is she talking? You know, I was trying to look at your lips moving, and it looked like you were. So
if you weren't joining us earlier in the night, so Globe at Night is an online citizen science program trying to capture data on sky visibility, and also bringing to the forefront attention of light pollution and loss of the night sky. So each month they select a constellation. This week, being International Dark Sky Week, they're focusing on Leo. And here's our little map here of it. And you'll go up and go outside, take a look, and then come back and report. And their little report section, it will ask you, to kind of determine how dark the night sky was. So how many stars could you see in that general area, all the way up to very, very dense set of stars, what your sky conditions were like. And if you have a sky quality reading, and if you like, I can actually show you a little bit about that. But you'll submit this. They do this once a month, usually for a week-long period. It's free to submit, it's free to use, but it collaborates with people all over the globe who are participating to try to capture as much data about the night sky and the urban skies that folks are sharing or are seeing. Let's see, I know it's awfully dark here. Let me see if I can get, were you gonna take that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna illuminate the area a bit. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what happens if I put my headlamp on, if that makes it a little bit easier to see. No, that's really just bright. That's silly. Okay. I'm gonna grab my sky quality meter and hopefully show you guys what this looks like. Hopefully I can get, here we go. All right, so this is my sky quality meter. And as you can see, it's got a little digital readout right here. It has oops, here we go. That's my little light meter on the top there. And this one is specifically designed to capture a narrow field of view. So there are some of these that are wide field of view that what they will do is you can point at the sky and it gives you about a 25 to 25 degree view of the sky that it takes its reading from. This one is actually much more narrow, so I could actually be standing next to the side of a building and it would just focus on the sky above me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on, and it gives you a little clicking and it gives you a little readout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to point it at the sky. Let's see if I can get any more illumination on this. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to point it up directly above us here at Bad Wolf Ranch, and we're going to see what kind of result we get. It calculates in magnitude per arc second squared, and then we use a conversion calculator, and that will tell us the Bortle scale. Oh, no, I don't think they lost me. No, I'm still here. So the Bortle scale is a scale that determines light of a sky. So how dark is the sky, how much light pollution is around you, as I showed you earlier, and I can kind of give you a, let's see if I can give you guys a view now. So this is looking, let's see, camera directed towards the north, turning towards the west. Let's see if it picks up on any light. Not too much light, not very easy to see. I was hoping that you might be able to pick up a little bit of sky glow, but we've got a fair bit of sky glow coming from that area of Colleen and Fort Hood to our east, and then to our south, and then passes. So I'm going to step away from the laptop and I'm going to point this up at the sky, and it's going to give me a reading of, let's see, so it gives me a reading of 21.73. And I'm going to look at my little calculation I made on the back. So 21.73 translates to a Bortle 2. That's a little suspicious. Could it really be a Bortle 2 out here?
Multiple readings in multiple directions.
Yes. So the way we usually do this is we take a reading at zenith, we take a reading towards each cardinal direction, and then take an average. So let's see what we're picking up. I mean, it is awfully dark out here, and we do have a pretty brilliant sky tonight, but I'd be a little surprised by that.
On the Bortle scale, what's dark and what's light?
Okay, so on the Bortle scale, a Bortle 1, that is your darkest sky possible. That is no light pollution from any direction, no light dome. So that is pretty much your Big Bend area, Big Bend, West Texas. Bortle 9, that's bright. That's downtown New York City. Most of Austin, kind of downtown Austin, definitely falls in that Bortle 8 scale. You get out to
pretty consistent
places about, as we were talking earlier, about Pedernales and Inks Lake, where we have public star parties. That Bortle ranges, Brian, that Bortle scale out there is about a 4.5. So pretty average, pretty good seeing. But I will turn it back over to you, and I'll do some readings and some calculations, and I'll come back in a few minutes and give you a more refined number here. Oh, and we just have coyotes in the distance.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, Terry or Daniel, you got anything?
Yeah.
I got the Leo triplet. Oh, go ahead, Terry. You first.
All right, I'll do a quick one, and then so we were trying to find M47 and M46 together. They should fit on the chip, but we found 47. We couldn't find our way over to 46, so we just did a go-to 46. And this is the one that has the planetary in it, so we're looking to see if we can detect that planetary. And let me just show you something. Okay, so Sharp Caporia. Okay, so M46 is a very dense cluster, and the scale here is we're pretty zoomed out. It's a wide angle field, so we don't have very much magnification. So I'm going to move the histogram here, and you guys tell me if you see anything unusual in the cluster as I kind of dim it down a little bit. And now let me bring it back.
There's a green area.
Yeah, so You're talking right about here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that intense green color makes me think that that is probably the planetary nebula. What's little bit disappointing is that it's not much bigger than a star at this magnification. So I'm used to seeing it, in a large daub where it's a planetary nebula with a central star of its own. So
Yes. So T, if you move that far left line, on your histogram to the left, does it brighten that any? I was just curious.
I'm trying to get just that line, but they're both going together.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've got a feeling that's probably what it is that's the planetary. We just would need more magnification.
Right. Yeah. You got a 101. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Daniel, if you want to go ahead.
All right. Can you show it here? So here's the Leo triplet. And let me, I like to zoom in on this. So let's do just that. And we'll pan around. Here's M66. And I like to just show some dynamic range in there and bring it in and out a little bit. Kind of see. It's pretty nice. And then we'll go over to I call it the hamburger, but but you can see how it has the, dust whiffs out in the edge here. It's very impressive. And then last but not least, little spiral down here. Again, look at some dynamic range in its arms there. Very impressive. And then as Dawn was showing, with her sky quality meter, we have one here, and we have it's a one. It's in an enclosure. It's an Ethernet model. It's pointed only at the zenith. We can't move it around, of course, to different parts of the sky, but it's pretty impressive. Where Dawn is 21.73 above her head, and here it's 22. Out at StellarSkies. So, very great place where Dawn is. So. Just for comparison on that. So still going on the Antennae galaxy, still looking good there. And on the Whale, let's look at the Whale again. Yeah, he's getting better and better because as he gets up higher in the sky, seeing gets better. And yeah, he's really coming into play there. Yeah, look at that. So he's looking good. Like to brighten that up a bit. Yeah, you can see that really good. So, all right. Well, T or anyone else, I'll give it back to you. What were you going for next, T?
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I was going to name that formation and let you guys tell me what we landed on. But we looked at this last night with no problem at about 2 in the morning. When we just tried to slew it here, we reached the limit of our USB cable on the camera, so it was about to pull the cord out of the PC. So we're not going to be able to get there. We're going for Markarian's chain, which is the central set of galaxies in the Virgo cluster. So M84, M86, and then a whole slew of NGC galaxies. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that with the laptop is kind of tied by other cables down, and we don't have enough cable length here. So
We made it. We're there.
oh, we are there?
Yep, it stopped.
Okay.
It stopped on its own. So
Well, Brian says he thinks we may be there. So let's go over to SharpCap real quick and take a look.
All right.
Okay, share screen. SharpCap. Share and get him full screen here. I'm not seeing it, to tell you the truth, but let me, what are we taking here? We're taking 4-second exposures, and we've got 23 of them. I don't think we're there, Brian. because we saw it with just, a couple of 4-second exposures last night.
Yeah.
So
On the spot with the only thing I've got to look at before it is.
yeah, so I think it's a fail on trying to go there. We also were thinking about a globular cluster. Look, M3 is the next one that's going to be positioned to see, but it's in the east, which is giving us the trouble right now.
Terry, what about Thor's helmet?
Let's see. Yeah,
I know you mentioned
we can
that
still go
maybe.
for that one. So Brian, you want to see if you can slew us over to NGC? I think it's 2359.
That sounds right.
And it should go to the left of Sirius.
And then in that area too, T, is the Seagull.
Right. Yeah, Daniel, if you want to give me an NGC on the Seagull, we might try it.
You bet. We'll get that. Let's see what it is. Let's see if I can.
NGC, for anybody who wonders, is the new general catalog. It's a way of identifying objects in the sky. There's several other different catalogs, and so some objects have more than one number.
You can have your cable back now.
Okay.
You're going to have an IC, Terry, IC 2177.
I see 2177. All right, we're going to try Thor first. Are we there, Brian?
Phoning in right now.
Okay, we got a star field. A lot of colorful stars. I'm going to just spread this histogram out just a bit.
I'm pulling up the Seagull Nebula map here. Yeah, I got it.
So things have been showing up in our lower right corner here. So let me try turn the gain up a little bit and take a longer exposure. So we'll go to 30 seconds. We're on Thor's helmet. It's not a very big nebula.
Probably not going to see it in this finder scope.
No, it'd be a smudge in there. So I'll go ahead and update the license for this so we can do better. We can do plate solving and take the guesswork out of if your alignment is good enough to get you in this close on the chip every time. With plate solving, it's kind of guaranteed. So let's see, we're still building a 30-second exposure. Okay, anybody see any nebulosity there?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, not either. Brian, let's go ahead for the Seagull. It's a bigger target. Might have more luck.
Did you see Thor's helmet earlier, or was that on Stellarium?
Come again, Joyce?
We saw something of Thor's helmet earlier, but was that just a picture on Stellarium?
Yeah, that was just a picture on Stellarium. Okay. So.
Okay, what did you say the Seagull was?
What was the IC number for the Seagull again, Daniel?
2177.
Got it.
So this is the Seagull here. And Thor's helmet is this little guy right here. And for some reason, they're looking fuzzy in Stellarium for me. I may be getting down in the trees or something. So yeah, that's not a great photograph of Thor's helmet. But
According to this, we're on it.
okay, so Brian has moved us.
Why does the screen look too white? Too
Yeah, all we're
bright?
seeing is white.
Oh. You're not seeing Stellarium with a dark sky?
Nope.
No, I think you're gonna have to restart your share.
Okay, hang on. Let's try again.
While you're doing that, I have a report. So
Okay.
out here at Bad Wolf Ranch, we're coming in at 21.176 magnitude per arc second squared, and that calculates out to roughly 4.5 on the Bortle scale.
Hey,
Okay.
that's not bad at all.
Not
Yeah.
too shabby.
No.
Don, you look like the girl computer on Red Dwarf.
That's awesome. I know.
I forget her name. But all we can see is your face.
I know.
Shadow. All right.
It's because I have a red filter on my laptop.
All right, I'm going to try a Stellarium to share it one more time. And
There we go. Yeah.
okay, so
All right.
we're getting pretty low, but this is Sirius or Canis Major here in Monoceros. And so we zoom in, here's the Seagull. And it starts looking pretty impressive when you get in there. But if you go, Thor's helmet is over here as a little guy compared to the Seagull.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. But Brian thinks we're somewhere in the Seagull. So let's see if we can find some. Oh, we got a satellite going through.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go.
Cosmos 1833. Okay. So let me get out of Stellarium, back to Sharp Cap, and turn the live stack off for a minute. And back on and clear. Oh, it's 30-second exposure. Okay, well, that should show some nebulosity. So.
What is the current temperature at Bad Wolf Ranch?
Terry, what are we seeing there? That's the Stellarium picture?
No, we got something going on here because I'm getting a white screen.
We're seeing Stellarium, yes.
Oh, you guys are still seeing Stellarium?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my problem, I'm sharing the screen. I know I'm sharing the application, not the screen. So let me share Sharp Cap. Did the screen change?
Yes.
That's now white.
Yeah, but it should be dark.
That's dark.
There it is. Now it's dark. Yep.
Yeah, but it's going to come up white again. So something's all right. Let me turn the exposure down here to more like 4 seconds. Oh, we got stars. Okay. Let me clear this. And I'm also going to turn the gain down.
Oh, T.
Yeah.
It's just your histogram. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You're getting it. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. I'm not seeing much nebulosity though.
Well, let's hope it'll build it. And
Okay. Turn this up to 8-second exposures.
yeah. I'd be shocked if we didn't at least see, gum one, the head, that should show up, I would think.
I don't know. We've been a little flaky since we stretched that USB cable out. I don't know if it might have caused the drive to stop suddenly?
I don't know how we can check it.
Do a go to a star?
Yeah, either go to a star or set it in park and look at where Polaris is and reference it from there. See if
Oh,
we get
okay. That would take a little bit of time. But how much longer are we going to keep going, guys?
I don't know, but I'm down to 25% on my laptop. and I've been doing a hotspot off of my my data plan for about 2.5 hours now.
We have gone beyond what we had said we would go, but if there's still stuff to see, we can. The
How
last
many,
check, there were still 19 people on YouTube, so.
Yeah, we're down to, we've got 13 folks still around.
13 now, okay.
So
Bob
I think
Snyder's saying, bring the left line up, Terry. I don't know what that means. We've got Bob Snyder and Richard Hendricks talking to each other back and forth.
Do we lose them?
yeah, it's not really not finding any nebulosity.
Oh, that's interesting, because I would think it would, you know.
Well, we
it's-
could be a couple of degrees off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to have to reset the telescope to be sure. So I think actually Brian is slewing over towards Polaris right now.
Okay.
Okay, what's the program you're running?
It's called Sharp Cap
Sharp Cap. Okay.
for sharp capture.
Gary, I have a question. Most of what we're seeing are white stars, but I see little red dots around. Are those just red stars?
Red stars are hot pixels.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is that an artifact or is that real?
I don't really know.
It's probably hot pixel. You know, Terry's camera, Joyce, it has the ability to be cooled, but he's not doing that right now.
Okay.
If he was, you would see a lot less of those. So
Okay, got it. Just wondered.
Yeah, good question.
All right, guys. My computer also.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah. It's probably these are probably signs, people, that maybe we've reached our limit for this evening. So.
Well, I don't know about the Bad Wolf crew, but the StellarSkies crew is starting to think about something hot to consume.
Yeah,
it's a bit chilly out here. We've noticed.
It is.
But,
it's surprising.
All right,
Yeah.
guys.
It's gorgeous.
Dawn,
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it off for myself because I'm down to very low power on the computer.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think that we may need to talk about all of us adopting one single software platform. So when we are sharing things, that we can all be very familiar with the same software. In that way, we can all be able to share information. That's just my thought, because that way it makes it easier.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think Sharp Cap, the way Terry's doing it, and you know, but I also think the way Don's doing it too is very
Yeah, I mean, her method
very
isn't amenable
helpful.
to Sharp Cap, but it's definitely a valuable way to look
Yes.
at it. So
It is.
I don't know
yeah.
what Sharp Cap is, or if it costs money, or
we're using a free version of it right now, but I already ran into one limitation I wanted to use because of, but the license is only 15 pounds a year. So
well, and I'm also looking to upgrade to an actual DSLR camera that will be able to pick up
Sharp
all
Cap
that.
works pretty well
Yeah.
with DSLR cameras as well.
I figured, you know, if I'm going to the Southern Hemisphere next year, I should be able to image some of it. So
I took a picture with my Pixel and it came out pretty good, surprisingly.
Yeah.
We have shown people in the audience different ways of doing things. It doesn't
exactly.
from our
Right.
standpoint, we may
Yes.
want to have some uniformity, but we've said to people, hey, you can pick your way to do it. There are various ways that work.
Let me see if I can
You guys hear me?
Got a star field.
Let me see if I can get some light on my mount right here.
I heard someone, can you hear me? Yeah, I heard
That's
you.
me. It's me. It's your dad, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, where is the beehive? Where's the beehive located?
It's between Gemini and Leo.
Oh, okay. So it's
Cool. Thank you.
So I'm going to try to put some light on here so you guys can see this, hopefully. Let's see. So this is the Celestron XYZ that I was using.
Move it over just a little bit, Don. It's off to the side.
Okay, let's see. Trying to get enough light on it. There we go.
Oh yeah.
So hold on a minute.
Alexa, set first light to 50%.
So you can see it's got this little trigger here, and that collapses around the eyepiece, and it's got a little tighten down. It really is best for your 1.5 inch eyepiece. There's a couple of mine that are designed a certain way where it will work with 2, but it's got a limited range. But it just, you connect your, let's see, your cell phone, just hooks in here. It's a little bright because I've got the light on, but you can, let's see if you can see. So right now I've got the ability to move it up and down and left and right, and also forward and backwards. So it operates on all 3 axes. And what's really nice about it is with the way that smartphones are designed these days is you can collapse this around your eyepiece, and your range of motion is such that you can actually move your camera, your phone, out of range of the eyepiece. So you can look through the eyepiece to find your target without having to take the entire apparatus off.
Nice.
And depending on how well you are at navigating the internet, this runs for about between $55 and $65 online.
Wow, that's amazing.
Pretty snazzy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Celestron.
Okay, Ash.
And while it takes a fair bit of light, as you could tell from some of these objects we were looking at, it takes a fair bit of light to draw in enough to see. What's great about something like this is, especially if you've got a smartphone or something that has some kind of time exposure to it, it's really great for outreach, especially, I mean, this is phenomenal for the moon. You can get some great images with this of the moon. Folks can take a picture of something they're seeing. And if, like, as I showed earlier, if you get it down to about a 3 or 5 second exposure, you get a pretty good resolution without losing too much because of rotation of the Earth. I mean, eventually, if I were to get this, polar aligned and get it to track, then that would not be an issue.
Right.
Alexa, set first light 20%.
And just think, Don, like in years to come, the smartphones, every iteration, right? They're getting so much more sensitive in their chip on the camera and such. Just think of where it'll be in a few years,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, the technology I'm rating for to come down a little bit in price are the adapters that are the night vision adapters.
Yes.
Those are running about $5,000 right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll come down.
They'll come down. They'll get there.
All right. Any parting words from anybody?
Hey, can Don hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Don, this is Bob Maloney, Danny's dad. And I got to tell you, when you were mentioning Fort Hood and Killeen, that brought back some memories. I was stationed down there for about 8 months before being sent to Vietnam. So I was down in the area for a while, but just real quick, it just amazes me with all you people are doing. You're every bit as professional. I don't know where you get amateur astronomers. You're every bit as professional. I learned a lot tonight. Meridian, exposure time, data collecting, and thanks, Joyce, for NGC. Now I know what that stands for, but I think I'll just start off with a pair of binoculars and see where it goes from there.
Often our advice, so yeah.
But I will tell you this: I'm really proud of my son Dan, what he's done. I enjoy getting on Stellarium and thinking I'm helping him by telling him when his telescope's getting close to the meridian line. And I got 3 monitors here and a laptop. I follow all his targets, and I'm glad I sat through this tonight. I'm really impressed. And I'm glad I got to meet all of you people. And Terry, hello again.
Hi, good to see you again.
All right, I'm done.
Well, we're glad you and everybody else came, and thanks
Yes,
so much to all the astronomers and the work that they did. And if anybody who's in the audience has any questions, you can email me at outreach@austinastro.org, or you can send it to contact@austinastro.org.
Contact AAS.
Oh yeah, contact AAS, right? And we'll see if we can answer any questions you have, and keep checking our website and Facebook. We may be doing this again. So thanks a lot to everybody.
Yeah, we'll try to get some of these photos that everyone's been taking tonight and get them up there for you guys to see. And yeah, thanks for bearing with us through our trials and tribulations of this technology. But really enjoyed being able to have a chance to show you the night sky until we can meet together in person.
Yep. Okay. Good night.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Daniel. Good night,
Yes.
Terry. Good night, Brian.
Night.
Good night,
Bye
Joyce.
bye.
Yeah.